Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made 5 UV resin keychains using shells and sand from Jamaica. So what I have is this thin mold, and I borrowed it from my neighbor, Lonnie. Thank you, Lonnie, for that. And I'm going to use 5 different pieces here. So I'll use 2 starfish and 3 shells, and I'm going to be using this UV resin that I got off of Amazon. I'm just going to pour a little bit into each mold. Not too much. And then I'm going to take my shell and put it face down in the mold. Then I'm going to take my toothpick and move the shell where I want it to be. I'm going to do the starfish. Pick up another shell and put it face down in the starfish here. And then take my toothpick and move it to where I want it to be. I'm trying to center them mostly. Remember, I'm not filling my molds up very much. Put a little bit in there and put my shell in face down. Move it to where I want it to be. And then I'll do the same thing to this bigger shell. But like I said, these molds are pretty thin. So, you know, it's not your typical UV resin molds. It's probably, well, I don't know what the molds are used for, actually. I just borrowed it from my neighbor and was hoping that maybe it would work. So it does work pretty well, and you'll see that. And again, I just put a little bit in this larger starfish. Mostly in the middle is where I put the resin for now. Put my shell in and move it to where I want it to be. And I have not filled up the molds all the way. Because these are not see-through molds and it's hard for the UV to get in it, I will do it in sections. And I'm just taking my my heat gun, and popping any of the bubbles that may be on top of my resin there. And I'm going to put it on for 2 minutes, and then actually after those 2 minutes are up, I do another 2 minutes. Now, this is the sand that I got from Jamaica, and I just put it in one of the empty water bottles, and I didn't have any problems getting through customs with the sand or the shells. They said it was okay. So I didn't have to worry about that. But I did let this cure, like I said, under the light for a total of 4 minutes. And now I'm going to put more resin in. Again, I'm trying not to fill them up all the way. Some of them do get a little full. Now, if you didn't want to put sand or anything else in it and you wanted this to be clear just with the shells, you could go ahead and fill it up all the way. I want to put some sand in it, so I'm not filling it up all the way just yet. I'm just putting a little bit more in it, and then I'm going to put some sand in it. And I'm just going to take this popsicle stick and put my sand on it and put it in the mold, or each of the molds. Now I don't put a whole lot of sand in, just enough. I don't want to put too much in. And then what I'll do is I'll take a toothpick and I'll kind of move my sand around a little bit. And make sure that all the sand is covered with the resin. And then I'm just making sure I get some of the sand up into the arms of the starfish. I didn't have enough there, so I'm going to put a little bit more in. And I put a little bit more in that other shell. And again, I just am mixing it up with my toothpick, making sure my sand is fully covered with the resin. And now I'm going to finish filling up. Well, I guess I don't do all of it, but I do add some more UV resin in my molds because I do want them to be filled up all the way. And I'm going to pop any bubbles there might be with my heat gun. Then I'm going to make sure that my molds are filled up with the resin. I think there was a bubble in that one, so I just popped it. And then I'm going to put this under my UV light again for 2 minutes. And then once that 2 minutes is up, I'll do it for another 2 minutes. So for a total of 4 minutes. And then I'm going to pop these out. And then I see that the tops of them are a little wet. So I'm trying to be careful not to get the resin on my hands there. And you can't cure the back side of these with them in the mold because they won't go through the pink. They have to be clear molds in order for you to do that. So I'm just going to move them around so that I can get them all under my UV light. And I'll do it for 2 minutes and then 2 minutes more. So for a total of 4 minutes. There's that one. There's that one. And here's the smaller starfish. I kind of overran the mold on it, so I had to, you know, get some of the pieces off of it. So I'm just taking an emery board or fingernail file, whatever you want to call it, and going over it with that. So there's the smaller starfish. And then this one was really, I put too much resin in it, so it escaped the mold quite a bit. And I was able to cut some of it away with my scissors because it was thinner. But if it's too thick, you're not going to be able to cut it with your scissors. About the only thing you can do is sand it down. So again, I'm going to use my fingernail file and sand the edges. So you want to make sure there are no sharp edges on it. And then this is the larger starfish. I did overfill it a little bit, so I had to sand it down a bit. And then the ends of the legs were a little sharp, so I did sand those down a bit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to drill some holes in them. So I'm just going to set them on top of my wood piece here. And I'm going to get out my drill and just drill one hole in each of them. There's that one. And there's the next one. I did have to sand it down a little bit because I don't know if a piece broke off of it or what. But it was a little sharp there, so I had to sand it down a bit. And then here's the smaller one. And then the smaller starfish. Just trying to figure out the best place to put my hole. And then my larger starfish. Okay, so I got holes in each of those, and now I want to take some chain, and I'm just going to use it like a jump ring. So I'm going to take 5 of these off of this chain so that I can use one on each of my shells there. So I'm just taking links off the chain, and like I said, I'm going to use those like you would a jump ring. I'm going to put it on my resin piece first, and then I'll put it on the chain, the keychains I've already made up with the same chain actually. Sorry about that being blurry. Guess I'm having a little hard time with this chain and getting everything hooked together. But there it is. That's the larger starfish. Now I'm going to do the seashell there. And I was just having a little bit of hard time getting these keychains put together. There's that one. Now I'm going to do the smaller starfish, and I did put the hole in between the arms of this one. And there it is. And now for the little shell. And these are all going to go to my granddaughter's classmates. She has 19 classmates, and I'm not going to do all of the keychains in a video, but I did do these 5. So she doesn't live close by, and I will put these in an envelope and mail them all out to her so she can give them to her classmates as souvenirs from Jamaica with real Jamaican shells and sand. Now this one I tried the chain link, but it just didn't work. So instead I got a larger jump ring. And that's what I use to put this one on with. I was having a little difficulty getting the jump ring in, but I got it. Perseverance, perseverance. And there's the last one. You'll have to let me know what you think of these. And there they are. I think they turned out pretty good. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please feel free to do so. I love all my subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video.